Gavin grinned, his lips blue beneath a mustache that was as much icicles as hair. "I really wanted to see the pyramids." He leaned forward as they pushed up a steep rise, the edges of the crest glimpsed occasionally through the swirling snow. Gavin wanted to talk, Michael realized, probably trying to keep himself distracted from the pain and exhaustion. It was a smart move. "I know you believe all those old legends, Gav, but I really doubt they're true." He would talk, but he wouldn't give any credence to unscientific nonsense. They reached the top of the rise, and a blanket of white swept down from their feet, disappearing into the storm. "Better watch our step here," Michael said, straining to see the lay of the land. "They're bloody real," Gavin said, almost too quietly to be heard. "What's that?" Gavin pointed, out across the crater. "We're here. This is the Wilkes Land crater." Michael looked in the direction Gavin indicated, saw only thick clouds of snowflakes gusting in loops and whirls. "I don't see anything. Just watch, wait for a gap in the blizzard." Michael strained to see something, anything, within the cloud of white. He was about to question the man's sanity when a break opened, and he saw clear across the huge expanse. He gasped. "Do you see it?" Gavin asked, more animated than he had been in hours. "I'm not hallucinating, am I?" "I saw something." Michael frowned. Surely they had been mountains. Strangely regular in size and shape, with weirdly straight edges, perhaps, but surely natural. They had to be. "I think the storm is passing," Gavin said. He appeared to be correct. The two men stood at the ridge, patient as the howling wind dropped to patchy gusts over the course of a few minutes, then to little more than an intermittent breeze. The flurries of snow thinned, even occasional shafts of sunshine breaking through brief rents in the thick cloud cover. After a few more minutes, the blizzard had stopped completely, and they stood staring across a wide bowl of featureless white. "They're real," Gavin said again. Michael couldn't believe he was looking at pyramids, thickly covered in snow, but their shape was unmistakable. "Surely just oddly shaped mountains," he said. "There must be a geological explanation for them." Gavin shook his head. "They look like pyramids to me. They can't be more than a mile, don't you think? Let's check them out." Michael could think of no reason not to. The rest of the expedition hadn't yet arrived, but this crater was the meeting point, so they would surely be here soon. Unless they had fared worse than Gavin and himself. He chose not to continue that train of thought for the moment. They could investigate the strange range, and keep an eye out for the arrival of their friends at the same time. With renewed vigor, they crunched across the fresh snow. As they approached the pyramids, looming high above them, Michael still couldn't tell if they were man-made or not. The edges revealed themselves to be less regular under the snow as they neared, the overall shape less defined up close. But was that the natural weathering of a man-made shape over millennia? Or had Mother Nature's hand sculpted a natural, vaguely pyramidal shape into something more refined? "Look there," Gavin pointed. An opening lay shadowed against the relentless white. It appeared to be a cave of some kind, a fissure in the rock heading into darkness. Snow whipped up again, the blizzard beginning to gain a second wind. "It's shelter, at least," Michael said. The two men headed into the cave, wincing against the renewed gale and blustering snow. Once they entered the blessed safety, still and quiet at last, Michael realized his exhaustion again. His legs ached, his toes burned with possible frostbite, his whole body trembled with fatigue. He sat down to rest, about to call his friend to rest beside him. But Gavin was clearly renewed, fueled by wonder at the bizarre discovery. "This goes deeper," he said, taking a few steps into the darkness. He pulled out a flashlight, the remarkable portable device invented by David Massell only a dozen or so years previously, and shined it down the length of the shadowed passage. "A long way deeper." Sighing, Michael hauled himself back to his feet and followed. The last thing they needed was for the two of them to become separated. "We'll check a little way, but not too far," he said. "We can come back properly equipped once we've rejoined the rest of the team." They wound deeper into the cave as it gradually sloped downward. As they descended, it grew warmer. At first, Michael...